Saturday night, I turned the TV on just to see what was going on. You'd been gone a while, didn't hear from you. I just want to know if you're safe and sound, 'cause I want to know if you made it out or if you're caught up in the mess. So tell me, are you okay? 'Cause I don't wanna lose you. It ain't easy 'cause I know I'm not with you. But tell me, are you okay? 'Cause I don't wanna say goodbye. I don't know what I'll do.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Healing Connection. I am your host, Joy McBride, and today we're going to talk about finding your North Star. To the veterans in this room, to first responders in this room, to caregivers in this room, to the spouses in this room, and to the children, young people, and families who have carried the weight of service in ways that are often invisible. This message is for you. Some of you have served in uniform. Some of you have served behind a badge. Some of you have served in hospitals, homes, fire stations, patrol cars, classrooms, and even waiting rooms. Some of you have served by holding a family together while someone you love was trying to hold themselves together. And some of you have served quietly, faithfully, without applause, without recognition, and without a break. But you know what? It all counts. And today, I want to start with a truth that I hope lands deep. Resilience is not pretending. It is not stuffing your pain into your pocket and calling it strength. It's not a smile when your soul is exhausted. It's not saying, I'm fine, when inside you're angry, numb, grieving, overwhelmed, or hanging on by a thread. Real resilience is something different. Real resilience is your ability to return to the truth, to return to purpose, to return to love, to return to who you are when life has knocked you off so far off course that you barely recognize yourself. And that is why today we are talking about finding your North Star. Because in life, storms are not theoretical. For this audience, storms are personal. You know what it is to live with pressure. You know what it is to keep moving when your body wants to stop. You know what it is to function while hurting. You know what it is to show up for everybody else and then sit alone in your own thoughts when the noise dies down. You know what it is to be needed. And sometimes being needed can become so normal that you forget you are allowed to be need. A North Star is not the loudest light in the sky. It's not flashy. It's not dramatic. It's not steady. And when everything around you feels uncertain, when grief gets loud, when anger gets loud, when exhaustion gets loud, when trauma gets loud, when loneliness gets loud, your North Star is what helps you remember where true north is. So today, I do not want to simply motivate you. I want to give you something you can build from. Some things you can use on Monday morning. Some things you can use in the middle of the night. Something you can use after a hard call, after a hard memory, after a hard conversation, after a hard shift, and after a hard diagnosis, after a hard season. I want to give you a way back to yourself. Before we go any further, take a breath with me. Breathe in through your nose and out slowly. Do it again. Breathe in, breathe out. That may not feel like much, but sometimes resilience starts with something that simple. Not because breathing solves everything, but because a steady breathing reminds your body, I am here, I am alive, I am in this moment, and I do not have to meet this moment in panic. That matters. The weight this audience carries. Let me say something directly to each group in this room. To the veterans, you have carried missions, duty, identity, loss, transition, memory, and sometimes even silence. You have carried things that seen and are unseen. Many of you have learned how to survive in high stakes environments, but nobody ever really taught you how to come home to yourself after survival became a way of life. To the first responders, you're often expected to move forward towards what everyone else runs from. You have to stay steady in chaos, calm in crisis, clear under pressure. And the world may only see your professionalism while never seeing the toll that repeated exposure, repeated adrenaline, repeated grief, repeated responsibility can take on the heart. To the caregivers, you carry more than most people know. You carry appointments, medication, calendars, reminders, finances, moods, setback, fears, paperwork, and yes, even hope. You carry the invisible labor of loving someone through pain. And too often, the caregiver becomes the one person everyone depends on while nobody asks, who is holding you? To the spouses, you know what it is to love somebody through change. You know what it is to love somebody in uniform, after uniform, through stress, through distance, through moods, through the parts they can explain and the parts they cannot explain. You know what it is to hold down the home front and still wonder how to stay connected to somebody you deeply love when the pressure of life has changed the rhythm of your relationship. Last but not least, and to the children. This one is for you too. Some of you have grown up in homes shaped by service, stress, long hours, deployments, grief, illness, or emotional distance. You may not always have the words for what you felt, but you felt it. You felt the tension in the room. You felt the silence after hard days. You felt when the grown-ups are carrying more than they could say. So let me tell every child, teenager, every young adult that's in this room something really important. Your feelings really matter. Your voice really matters. And being brave does not mean being silent. When one person serves, the whole family serves. When one person hurts, the whole family feels it. And when one person begins to heal, the whole family also begins to heal. That is why resilience is never just an individual topic. It's personal, yes, but it's also relational. It spreads, fear spreads, silence spreads, anger spreads, hopelessness spreads, but so does honesty, steadiness, connection, repair, courage, and hope. That means one healthy choice can do more help to you. It can change the emotional climate at the home. It can change how your children talk about their feelings. It can change how your spouse expresses safety. It can change how your team understands strength. It can change the future. That is powerful. What resilience is not, let me be clear something up, because I think many of us have been handed the wrong definition of resilience. Some people think resilience means never break. That's not resilience. That's pressure. Some people think resilient means handle it all by yourself. That is not resilience. That is isolation. Some people think resilience means keep functioning no matter what. That is not resilience. That is often survival mode. Some people think resilient means push it down, move on, don't talk about it. That's not resilience either. That's delayed pain. Real resilience is not the absence of struggle. It's the ability to stay connected to what matters while you are in the struggle. Let me say that again. Resilience is not the absence of struggle. It's the ability to stay connected to what matters while you are in the struggle. That changes everything. Because if that is true, then resilience is not reserved for people who never get tired. It is not reserved for people who never cry. It is not reserved for people who never need therapy, never need rest, never need medication, never need a break, never need help, never need a friend, never need a hug, never need to tell the truth. Resilience belongs to regular human beings who choose to keep returning to what matters. And the beautiful thing about this is returning is a skill. That means it can be practiced. That means it can be strengthened. That means it can be modeled. That means it can be taught to your children. That means it can be rebuilt even if life hits you hard. Some of you may be sitting here thinking, you do not know what I've been through. You're right. I don't. But I may not know your exact story, but I know this. You're not weak because life has affected you. You're not failing because you are tired. You're not broken because you have scars. You're not less strong because you need support. You are human. And healing does not begin when you become superhuman. Healing begins when you become honest. For some of us, the hardest sentence in the world is, I can handle it. The hardest sentence is, I need help. I need rest. I need to talk. I'm not okay. I'm angry. I'm grieving. I'm carrying just way too much. I do not want to keep pretending. I cannot keep doing this the same way. But that truth, painful as it may be, is often the doorway to a stronger life. Not because truth feels good immediately, but because truth gives you something solid to stand on. And you cannot build resilience on a lie. Finding your North Star. So what is your North Star? Your North Star is not your mood, because moods change. Your North Star is not your role, because roles change. Your North Star is not pain, because pain gets loud, but it does not get the final word. Your North Star is not public opinion. It is not your worst day. It is not your past mistakes. It is not your diagnosis. It is not your fear. Your North Star is the deeper things that help you stay oriented when life gets disorienting. I want to define it this way. Your North Star is a combination of your values, your purpose, and the people you want to love well. Values, purpose, people. Values answer the question, who do I want to be? Purpose answers the question, why do I want to keep going? People answer the question, who am I responsible to love, to serve, and to protect without losing myself? That is your North Star. And notice I said, without losing myself. Because some of us were taught to serve in ways that erased us. Some of us were praised for overfunctioning. Some of us were so useful that we forgot how to be human. But your North Star does not ask you to disappear. It asks you to live with integrity. So let's slow this down for a minute. I want you, if you're willing, to ask yourself 3 questions. Doesn't have to be out loud, just in your own heart or on a piece of paper if you have one. First one, what matters most to me now? About 5 years ago, not who everybody expects me to be, not what impresses I on people. What matters the most to me now? Second, who do I want to be when life gets hard? Do I want to be present, honest, steady, compassionate, courageous, dependable, soft, strong, humble enough to ask myself for help? What kind of person do I want to be under pressure? Third question, what do I want people I love most to feel around me? Do I want my children to feel fear or safety? Do I want my spouse to feel distance or connection? Do I want my team to feel pressure or steadiness? Do I want my family to remember me as emotionally unavailable or emotionally brave? These questions matter because your North Star is not an abstract. It gets lived out in ordinary moments. It gets lived out in how you talk when you are frustrated. It gets lived out whether you apologize. It gets lived out in whether you rest. It gets lived out in whether you keep secrets that are hurting you. It gets lived out in whether you ask for backup before you collapse. It gets lived out in whether your children see repair after conflict. It gets lived out whether your spouse hears the truth or just edited version of your pain. That is where resilience really lives. Not just in dramatic moments, in daily ones. Here are a few examples of North Star statements. You do not have to use these, but maybe one will stir something in you. My North Star is to live with courage, honesty, and presence. My North Star is to protect my family without shutting them out. My North Star is to serve others without abandoning myself. My North Star is to break unhealthy cycles and build healthier ones. My North Star is to lead with strength and compassion. My North Star is to come home emotionally, not just physically. My North Star is to be the kind of person my children can trust with the truth. That's a big one. My North Star is to keep choosing life, even in hard seasons. And yes, that last one really matters. It really, really does. Because for some of you listening to this, resilience right now is not a giant leap. It is simply staying, is simply reaching, is simply telling the truth before silence gets dangerous. Is simply making it through today with honesty. And that counts too. The daily practice, STAR. I want to give you the everyday tool. This is the part that you can build on. This is the part that you can use daily. This is the part of you that can bring it home. Your shift, your office, patrol car, your station, your support group, your marriage, your parenting, and even your own private life. It is simple. When life feels overwhelming, remember this word, STAR. Because once you find your North Star, you need a way to live for it every day. Yeah, since we all like acronyms, that's what STAR is. It is an acronym. S stands for slow, down the storm. T, tell the truth. A, align with what matters most. R, respond with the next step. We walk through that a little slowly. S is to slow down the storm. When stress arises, the first thing many of us do is to speed up. Our thoughts speed up, our reactions speed up, our words speed up, our breathing changes. Our patience disappear. Our body starts acting like every problem is emergency. But not every hard moment is an emergency. So the first move is to slow down the storm. That may mean planting both feet on the ground. That may mean unclenching your jaw. That may mean loosening your hands. That may mean stepping out for 1 minute. That may mean breathing in for 4 and out for 6. That may mean splashing water on your face. That may mean getting quiet before you say something you could not take back. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is pause long enough to stop your pain from driving. Slow down the storm. For veterans, that may mean recognizing I am activated right now. For the first responders, that may mean saying my body is still acting like I'm on call. For the caregivers, that may mean admitting I have been in constant go mode for days. For the spouses, that may mean noticing I'm bracing before I even know what this conversation is. For the children, that may mean learning to say, my body feels stormy. That is not weakness, that is awareness. And awareness is where the change begins. T, tell the truth. This is where resilience gets real. Tell the truth, not the polished truth, not the acceptable truth, not the, hey, I'm fine truth. How about the real truth? I'm exhausted. I'm scared. I'm angry. I feel alone. I miss who I used to be. I do not know how to talk about this anymore. I need support. I need a counselor. I need a break. I need to say, I'm sorry. I'm not handling this well. I keep acting like I'm okay, but really, I'm not. You cannot heal what you refuse to name. And let me be clear. Telling the truth does not mean dumping everything on everybody. It means refusing to lie to yourself. And even then, choosing at least one safe place where honesty can live. A friend, a spouse, a therapist, a pastor, a mentor, a support group, a trusted coworker, a sibling, a counsel, a journal, maybe even a quiet prayer. A conversation that starts with, I need to tell you the truth about where I am. Truth is not always comfortable, but it is clean. And clean truth is stronger than polished denial. A, align with what matters most. This is where your North Star comes back in. Once you slow the storm and tell the truth, ask this question. What does my North Star require of me right now? Not what does my pride want, not what does fear want, not what impresses people, not what keeps the image intact. What does my North Star require? If your North Star requires honesty, maybe the next move is a hard conversation. If your North Star is presence, then maybe the next move is putting the phone down and looking at your children in the eyes. If your North Star is healing, maybe the next move is making that appointment. If your North Star is peace, maybe the next move is choosing silence over argument. If your North Star is courage, maybe the next move is admitting you are struggling. If your North Star is family, maybe the next move is coming home emotionally, not just physically. If your North Star is serves with health, maybe the next move is settling a boundary before burnout makes the decision for you. Alignment matters because pain is very loud. Fear is very loud. Anger is very loud. Shame is loud. But your values are wiser. When you align with what matters most, you stop living reactively. You start living intentionally. R, respond with the next right step. Not the perfect step, not all 10 steps, just the next right step. This is where resilience stops being an idea and becomes action. Sometimes the next right step is tiny. A drink of water, take a walk, turn off the noise, make a call, text a friend, schedule the appointment, ask for backup, say, hey, can we talk tonight? Sit with your children for 10 undistracted minutes. Apologize without defending yourself. Take the medication as prescribed. Go to bed. Tell your team you need a minute. Move your body. Step outside. Pray. Cry. Breathe again. Do not underestimate the power of the next right step. People get overwhelmed because they think they have to solve their whole life in one day. You do not. You just need the next right step. Let's practice STAR right now. Slow down the storm. Take a breath. Tell the truth. What is true about you right now? Align what matters most. Who do you want to be in this season? Respond with the next right step. What do you need to do in the next 24 hours? That is resilience in motion. What this looks like in real life, let me make this practical. A veteran has a day where old memories are close. Irritation is high, and the urge is to isolate. STAR might look like something like this. Slow down the storm. Step outside. Breathe. Stop escalating internally. Tell the truth. Today is a hard day. I'm just not myself. Align. My North Star is connection. Honesty is staying present. Respond. Text someone safe. Go for a walk. Cancel the numbing behavior and choose one supportive action. A first responder comes off shift carrying images, adrenaline, and emotional overload. STAR might look like this. Slow down the storm. Sit in the car for 2 minutes before going inside the house. Tell the truth. I had a hard shift, and I need 10 minutes to decompress before I can be fully present. Align. My North Star is to protect and love my family, not bring the whole storm through the front door. Respond. Decompress. Reset. Then re-enter with the intention. A caregiver is running on fumes. STAR to them might look like this. Slow down the storm. Stop trying to do 5 things at once. Tell the truth. I am depleted and I cannot stop pretending I am okay. Align. My North Star is love and sustainability, not love through self-assurance. Respond. Ask for help. Take a short break. Cancel one non-essential task and receive care too. For the spouses feeling the distance growing in their marriage, their star might look like this. Slow down the storm. Do not begin the conversation from accusation. Tell the truth. I really miss you. I feel far from you. I need us to reconnect. Align. My North Star is honesty, partnership, and emotional safety. Respond. Set time to talk. Ask one open-hearted question. Stay in the room emotionally. A child feels the tension in the house, and what do they not know what to do with it? To them, their star might look like this. Slow down. Take a breath. Tell, I feel scared, or I feel sad, or I feel confused. Align. I want to ask for help instead of hiding. Respond. Go to a trusted adult and say, can you sit with me for a few minutes? That is how resilience becomes a family practice. Not just a personal slogan, resilience at home. Now let's talk about the home, because that is where many of our deepest battles happen. Some people can perform strength in public and fall apart in private. Some people can be composed on the outside and completely disconnected at home. Some people can save lives all day and still don't know how to sit in their own living room. Home is where resilience either depends or gets delayed. And here is what I want every family listening to this podcast to hear. You do not need to be a perfect family to build a resilient one. You need a family that knows how to repair. That is different. Perfection says we don't struggle. Repair says we struggle, but we can come back together. Perfection says hide the hard stuff. Repair says we can tell the truth and still belong. Perfection says never let them see my emotion. Repair says we can model healthy emotions. Perfection says image first. Repair says connection first. That is how children learn resilience. Not from speeches, from patterns. Children learn resilience when they see adults breathe instead of explode. They learn resilience when they hear adults apologize. They learn resilience when they hear, I had a hard day, but it's not your fault. They learn resilience when feelings are named without shame. They also learn resilience when asking for help is treated like wisdom, but not weakness. And spouses need that too. Caregivers even need that too. Everybody in the house needs to know that honesty is safer than silence. So here's a simple practice you can bring home. At dinner, at bedtime, in the car, after school, at the end of a shift, at the closing of the day. Ask 4 questions. 1. What are you feeling? 2. What was hard today? 3. What helped you today? 4. What do you need tonight? That one rhythm can change a home. For younger children, you can make it even simpler. Ask, are you sunny, cloudy, stormy, or tired? What happened today? Who helped you? What do you need right now? Simple, repeatable, and safe. For the adults in the home, let me say this clearly. Do not wait until the breaking point to start telling the truth. Do not wait until the argument. Do not wait until the shutdown. Do not wait until the panic. Do not wait until the dark, the rage, the silence, the disappearance, the blowing up, or the collapse. Start earlier. That is what I call resilience. Build it daily. Now, let me give you the build off piece, because inspiration without rhythm fades. You can hear a message like this, feel motivated for a day or two, and then life gets loud again. That is why resilience has to become a practice. So here's a simple daily rhythm. Morning compass. Before the day starts, ask, what do I want to carry today? What do I need to lay down today? Who do I want to be today? That takes about 2 minutes. Midday rest. Reset. At some point in the middle of the day, use star. Slow down the storm. Tell the truth. Align with what matters most. Respond with the next right step. That can take all of a minute. Even debrief. At the end of the day, ask, what hit me today? How did I respond today? What do I need today? What am I grateful still stands? Takes about 5 minutes. Do that for a week and you will notice more awareness. Do that for a month and you will notice more steadiness. Do that over time and you begin changing how you live under pressure. Not because life has become easy, but because you became more anchored. And anchored people are powerful. Not loud, not image driven, anchored people. People who know how to breathe before reacting. People who know how to tell the truth before the damage spreads. People know how to align their values instead of the impulse. People know how to take one right step, even when their whole staircase is not even visible. That, again, is resilience. A word to the tired ones. Now, I want to speak to the tired ones, to the person who is functioning but not flourishing, to the person who is smiling but worn down, to the person who's been carrying responsibility for so long they don't know how to unclench, to the person who is helping everyone else but terrible at receiving help for themselves, to the person who still has a purpose but has lost some hope, to the person who feels like they should be stronger by now. You know what? Listen to me. You do not have the right. You don't have to earn the right to rest. You do not have to hit rock bottom before reaching out. You do not have to explain your pain perfectly before asking for support. You do not have to justify your humanity. You are allowed to need care. You are allowed to say, this season is really heavy. You are allowed to say, I need someone in this with me. You are allowed to say, I need help before this gets worse. You are allowed to begin again. In fact, beginning again may be one of the strongest things that you will ever do. Because resilience is not a grand decision. It's like 1,000 small returns. A return to breathe, a return to truth, return to values, connection, honesty, support, purpose to yourself. And every one of those returns matter. So as I close, let me leave you with this. Find your North Star. Find the values that will guide you when the emotions are loud. Find the purpose that keeps you moving when life gets dark. Find the people you want to love well. Find the version of yourself you want to keep becoming. Then live it every single day. When the pressure arises, you star. Slow down the storm. Tell the truth. Align with what matters most. Respond with the next right step. Teach it to your children. Practice it in your marriage. Model it in your leadership. Carry it into your caregiving. Bring it to your shift work. Bring it to your healing. Bring it into your home. Because resilience is not something you either have or you do not have. It is something you must practice. It is something you must build. It is something you strengthen one honest moment at a time. And hear me on this. Needing support does not mean that you're weak. Never, ever does that mean you're weak. Reaching out does not mean you have failed. Telling the truth does not make you less worthy. It makes you more reachable, more grounded, more alive, more connected to what matters. If this message connected with you and you want to keep building from it, you can always email me at cooljoe77heroobjective.org. You can tell me if this works. Whatever your story is, email me. I would love to hear what you have to say. And if it's something that I feel is important to everyone else, I will ask you first, and then we will see if we can share it. Please remember this support message for yourself and for the people you love. If you or someone you love is in emotional distress, please call or text 988 and press 1. Or by texting 838255. You do not have to be enrolled in VA or healthcare to connect. If someone is in immediate danger, please remember to call 911. If you feel like you are in danger and you don't think you can call 988, please call 911. If you're too scared to call 911, please text 988 and hang on the line. Somebody will be there. You're not alone. You're not finished. And you're not without direction. Find your North Star. Take the next right step. Keep returning to what matters. And always remember, keep moving forward. And once you find your North Star, keep going because the sky can be unlimited. Stay strong, stay forward, and remember to look up every now and then. And I want you to remember that I will always have your six. And until next time, I am Joey McBride, and I am signing off.
'Cause I don't wanna lose you. It ain't easy 'cause I know I'm with you. But tell me, are you okay? 'Cause I don't wanna say goodnight. I don't know what I'll do without you. Are you okay? So tell